Hello and welcome. In the previous video, we talked about the background and border. I have only applied it to a div, to an element like box, but you can apply it to the images, to the tables, to the lists, or any other element which is like matching our box model. As I said, that box model is a concept which applies to all elements of HTML5 and CSS3. So it means all elements, which is border, list, image itself, they are having this box model. Now let's start and learn the CSS properties, specific CSS properties about the image, table, and list. So let's first start with the table. Let me complete the layout. Okay, the layout is complete. Now how can we apply different things for the borders? So let's see what we can do with the CSS that we have learned so far and with the new table properties. Let's give it a class of table, access it in our external css.table. First, let's define a border. And we learned that we can, the first is the width of the border, the second one is the type of the border, and the third one is the color. Let's say gray. Okay, we got. Okay, so by using this method we only got the border outside our table, but before we were using, when we were using here the border was given for each cell. If we use that method, and let me comment this one, and let me show you a solution that we have now got each border doubled. How can we solve that? We can use the property border collapse and collapse. Let's save it. Now we got one line border, solid border for each hour, but that is not a solution because it is we should not use this method. So we'll come to CSS, and again let's change it by this one. Let's change the selection. Well, let's say we want border for our each TD and TH, so we select the TH comma TD. It means that apply this CSS that I'm going to write between these braces to the TD and TH text. Here are the TH and TD. It means to each cell. So we'll come here and say border 1 pixel of solid style and gray color. Let's save it, and let's, now we can see that we have the same way. And if I remove this border collapse, then it will be separated. So let's take it back. Then our TH and TD, they are our cells, they are selected. Now we can use the padding to style them. Let's say we get padding 2 pixel, or let's give it 5 pixel, and we have the table class here. We can give it a background color. Just practice that you can do something like this. Okay, and if you want to separate the head section, so we can say that coming here and say that dot table. We might have many tables, so we want to style the head section of a specific table, which is here. So we will use the dot table class because dot table represents our table. We can change the name here. Let's say table 1, and come here and let's give it, change the class table 1, and again here table 1. Inside the table, when I give the space, it means that in the child element or inside the table, select the T head section. T head is a tag, that's why no class or no dot or no hash is given before. That is here T head. So color, give it a background color, different background color. Let's say brown. Okay, now you see overall the background color of our table is sky blue, but we have separated the tab head section of the table and given it a brown, and you can change the color of it to, let's say, white. So and we can overall we can change the width of our table. Let's say width should be 50% of our page. This is 50% of our page. The width can be like fixed. You can say table layout fixed. Sorry, it will not grow on the x-axis or horizontally. We can use the table layout, like if I say 20%, we got somehow like this because our table layout is fixed. So here we get the rows and our cells are somehow, I can say, spoiled. We can use the auto table layout, which will make it somehow our table responsive. Let's say the next thing that I'm going to discuss in this video is about the lists. How can we style, how can we apply styles to our list? So let's create a list first. Let's save it and check. We got the list here because it is the UL, so we got this bullet points. And now let me give it a class of courses list, and come to our style.css, and here put a dot courses dash list, and now we can style it. You have to consider it that whether the class is to our the parent list tag with the UL or for each item. When it is for our main tag, so it will have some different properties. It might have different properties, and when it is applied to each item separately, there will be different properties. So for the whole, like we have the list style type. With this we can change this bullet points that we have here. We can use let's say disk, let's say square. Can we use? Yeah, we got the square shape. And if you want, we can use the circle shape. And if we, let's say, use the disk was as it was before, what else can we have? We have here Armenian, which is like this one. We have the, let's see the suggestion, we have the Georgian. Let's say this, we have decimal. Though our list is UL, unordered list, but we can change the style type to number S. Okay, now the next thing is that we can even put an image instead of this one, and custom image. Like we can say list instead of type we say image, and we give it the URL, and inside the URL is the previous video in which we used the background image. We give the exact URL. We are in the style.css file, and we have to navigate one folder back, go to the images folder, and inside it select the image. Let's save it. Yeah, we got the image for each of our item. You can see the image. You have to bring an appropriate image like SVG or any PNG in a very small size and use it here, or an icon. So now I'm going to remove this one. Okay, now what if you want separately to apply separately the style? So I'll comment this class and number, class disk, and class circle. Let's save it. And for the class circle, we will have list style of circle. Let's save. Yeah, for the last one we have the circle, and for the disk class type we will have list style disk. Here you go. Three different and we can put three different images. Let's say list style image, and give the URL and put the image. not considering that. The other thing is the position of this points, the numbering or the bullet points, that is list style position, whether I put it inside, like the circle one that is inside, it means that the where from our list starts, put the bullet point there. But if you use it outside, so it means that start the line from the position that it should be and put the bullet point or the circle or whatever it is outside of that range. So we'll get it here. Let's say put the disk list style position and out inside. Okay, this one is inside now. Next one is let's move to images. How can we manipulate images with our CSS? So I'm going to create another box here, div, and give it a class of box. We already have the box in our style.css with a background and everything else, so let's save it. We got the box here, we have the border radius, we have the padding, margin, everything. And inside the box, let me bring an image, which was through image tag, and we have learned about this in HTML section, the first 5 videos. So let me give the address. Now we are in the index.html5. We don't need to just say two dots to navigate one folder back. We just need to mention the folder name and the image name. Here we got the image inside our box, but because the image is a bit large and we can only see the corner of the image here, so let's say and give it a style. Our div is having the box and class, and beside the box class I'll give it another class, let's say image box. And I can use a class for image as well, but it is like optional if you can use, or otherwise you can select by the parent class. So let's say dot image box. So this property will be applied to the parent because I have given the parent the dot the image box class, and if I want to apply these properties that I'm writing here to image itself, so I have to say that go to the image box class and select the image tag, which is only one here still in our document. So let's say we can give it width. Let's say width of our box is 200. We can use 200 for this one as well. And if you don't know how much is the width of our box, so we can simply say 100%. It means that 100% of its parent is image box, which is 200 pixels, so this 100% will be converted to 200 pixels. And we can give it the height of 100% as well. So if you don't give it, it will adopt it respectively. But now if we mention 100 pixel, this will stretch the image and try to make it to 100, but the image is not square, so we should not do something like that. And instead we can use the border radius for our image as well. Let's say 220 pixel, and it will make the corners round. Next thing, we can use all the properties of padding and margin, the border. We can use give it a border of like 5 pixel of red color, solid style, and red color. Let's see, border as well. And we can, because it is now adding width is 200 pixel, which is the parent width, and 500, so the overall width of our image will be 210. 5 pixel from the left, 5 pixel from the right, 10, and 210. That's why it is now you can see the image is a bit not in center. Before the border it was looking quite good and in the center, but when it, so that we have to use the box sizing border box to make sure that our border width is within the width of the image. And this was for this video. Thank you for watching, and kindly subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you.